John Force Racing arrived in Joliet carrying more momentum than almost anyone in the funny car field. They left with one finalist, one early exit, one defending champion knocked out in round 2, and a parachute pin that started the whole weekend on the wrong foot. Jordan Vandergriff drove into Route 66 Raceway sitting 4th in the funny car point standings, fresh off his first career NHRA funny car victory at the Southern Nationals just 2 weeks earlier. That first win was something he'd been chasing for a very long time, and getting it under his belt was a dream come true. The rookie showed up in Joliet with everything to build on. What happened next was a masterclass in how fast momentum can evaporate in this sport. Vandergriff ran the 5th quickest run of the day in Q2, a 3.941 seconds at 328.78 miles per hour, but was disqualified after it was found a parachute pin had been left in. In his own words, the explanation was painfully straightforward. "We had a mad thrash between Q1 and Q2. We found a little oil pressure issue in our engine during warm-up, so we had to swap engines and we really thrashed." This was the Cornwell Tools team's first real test in a situation like that, and we succeeded in that we ran a 3.94. We didn't even warm the engine up. We just took it to the starting line and ran it, but, unfortunately, we were DQ'd because we left a parachute pin in. It was a learning experience. The DQ dropped him to 16th on the qualifying sheet, and sent him straight into a first-round matchup against Chad Green on Sunday. Coming off his first career win just 2 weeks earlier, Vandergriff lost in the first round for the very first time this season. "The highs and lows of drag racing," Vandergriff said, "coming off my first win at South Georgia only to go out in the first round in Chicago. We just had the most trying weekend for our Cornwell Quality Tools team." Defending Route 66 Nationals winner Jack Beckman went 3.913 at 329.99 miles per hour in his peak Chevrolet SS funny car to grab the provisional number 1 qualifying position, his 34th career top qualifier spot. On paper, everything looked perfect for Beckman to defend. He had the data, the confidence, and the track knowledge of a man who had won this race before. It was his second consecutive Route 66 Nationals low qualifier, having done so last year on his way to earning his 37th funny car event win. The Peak squad had done everything right through qualifying. Sunday had other ideas. Beckman defeated number 16 qualifier Chris King in round 1, running 3.945 seconds at 325.53 miles per hour to King's 4.233 seconds at 270.64 miles per hour. He was clean, clinical, and looked every bit the defending champion. Then came round 2, and the title defense was over. Defending Route 66 Nationals champion and this year's number 1 qualifier Jack Beckman and the Peak Chevrolet SS funny car team bowed out in round 2. For a driver who had qualified at the top of the sheet and carried the weight of defending on a track he'd owned just 12 months prior, a second-round exit was not in any script John Force Racing had written for the weekend. The point standings took a hit, and the questions about the Peak squad's Sunday performance will follow them to Maryland. If there was a silver lining threading its way through JFR's complicated Sunday, it wore the colors of the Bandero Cafe Chevrolet. Alexis DeJoria made a strong run through eliminations, eventually reaching the final round and giving John Force Racing its best result of the day. She knocked off Spencer Hyde, Dave Richards, and Matt Hagan on her way to the championship round, a path that required beating 3 legitimate funny car contenders. By the time the final was set, DeJoria looked dangerous, and the paddock knew it. DeJoria left the starting line a mere 0.06 of a second behind Chad Green and made a strong run of 3.965 seconds at 328.86 miles per hour, but it wasn't enough to get around Green's winning run of 3.945 seconds at 324.75 miles per hour. The margin of defeat was just 13 feet of racetrack. It was the two teams' second meeting in a final round this season, with the same result as the season-opening Gator Nationals. For DeJoria, who has spent much of 2026 showing flashes of a car capable of deep elimination runs, losing the same final twice to the same opponent stings in a way that statistics alone can't capture. She has 6 NHRA funny car titles in 18 final round appearances. The experience is there. The result simply wasn't. Step back and look at the full picture of John Force Racing's Route 66 weekend and the emotions are complicated. One driver, the rookie, lost in the first round after a qualifying DQ that cost him crucial points and seeding. The defending champion bowed out in round 2 despite having the best qualifying number in the field. The team's deepest run ended in a final round loss by the length of a car hood, to the same opponent who beat them in Florida in February. Josh Hart and the Speedmaster Top Fuel team did earn a semi-final finish, a genuine bright spot, but in a weekend that felt like it had championship implications, the overall result was a step back. Vandergriff acknowledged the positives where he could find them. "We know we still have a great race car, so thank you to Cornwell Quality Tools, Peak, Chevrolet, Bandero, Speedmaster and everybody else. We will get back at it in Maryland." That's the attitude John Force Racing has always been built on: take the loss, learn from it, and show up at the next race ready to answer. The Route 66 Nationals gave John Force Racing a finalist and a lot of questions. Now they need answers.